so he gave me all I got to say.
Yeah.
Bob, you're going that
Yeah.
way today?
I haven't seen anything of it.
You didn't check in your office.
I thought maybe after the meeting.
You can go check it.
I'll take a
Oh,
look.
okay.
We'll call the meeting to order, November 5th, 2019, almost 10 o'clock a.m. Tax Planning and Zoning Committee. Amanda, would you call the roll, please?
Curtis.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah.
Bard.
Here.
Kokenauer.
Yes.
Doobie.
Here.
Whitlow. Sticknut.
Present. What? Is there a motion to approve the agenda? Roger? Second. Bard? Discussion? If not, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Check over the claims for a couple minutes here.
He's looking for Bob for the cell tower. I'm not discussing that this month. Is that what he's looking for?
I'm not sure what it's looking for.
Okay, because he didn't want that on the agenda
Yeah.
this month. Okay.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
Lisa,
Yes.
what's info relocation?
Is it info, it should say replication, I think.
Oh, okay.
It's a backup of our, recording documents.
Okay. And then GIS parcel map, should that be GPS or?
No, GIS is the Geographical Information
Okay,
System.
okay. Yeah.
This is only report.
Oh,
The guy that put the cell tower up, something's going on there, he's postponing that till next month.
yeah, I understand. Had enough time to look over things, everybody? Okay. Is there a motion to approve the claims?
So moved.
Kevin, second?
I'll second.
Leanne? Is there any discussion on the claims? If not, Amanda, would you call the roll, please?
Curtis,
Yes.
Awful,
Yes.
Barb,
Yes.
Okenauer,
Yes.
Stube,
Yes.
Signot,
Yes. Motion carries. Are there any public comments? Not much public.
Got no public.
If not, seeing none, we'll move on. Lisa, would you like to go first?
Yes, I will.
Don't have to twice.
Yeah.
You know, there's no election in November in odd years in Illinois. The vast majority of the stuff that we're doing in the office right now is still election related. Obviously packets are available for anyone to pick up to run for county office in the March primary. And then the filing date is November 25th through December 2nd for that. We've been doing, as I've been reporting for the last couple months, that Brian and I have been working on the polling place ADA compliance survey. We've been to 36 of the 37 precincts, polling places, got one left to go to. There's some that were better than we thought. There are 0 that are 100% perfect, but some of them are only gonna take a sign that says van parking, or van, what do you call that? But we had to put them out here. Yeah, van accessible. Some of them are pretty bad, and do need to be changed, but it has been a challenge to find, a place to change them that's going to be any better. We've found some places that are a little bit better, but I kinda question the wisdom of changing a polling place to another polling place that still needs things to be fixed. So, we're working through that. I've got, hopefully, I'll have a little bit of money left in my budget this year that we can buy some of the things that we're gonna need. Everyone is gonna need the van accessible sign. That's kinda new. I think we just had to put them up here in our own building. Oh, by the way, I'm pretty sure, take that back, this building is a polling place for early voting, and I believe we're 100% compliance because of those darn van accessible signs. But some places are gonna need, possible ramps. Some might need, like they make these mats that you can put on a gravel parking lot so that a van can pull up and a wheelchair or something can get out. We're working with the different township supervisors to see if there's things that they, can help us with, and we're just finding solutions, and we're doing pretty good, I think. So, I overall don't think it's as bad as I expected it to be.
And we have until when to get compliant?
Well, what?
And we have until when to get compliant?
Well, we've always supposed to have been compliant, every public building is supposed to be compliant. But the survey that we had to do 10 years ago was nothing like the survey they sent us this year. This just had a lot more stuff on it. The only thing about polling places that's different is that the bathrooms don't have to be handicap compliant, because obviously you don't go to the polling place, you go to the bathroom. So, but they're just really, really strict about the elevation of the ramps, all that kind of stuff. How easy will the door open? Does it have the right kind of door handle to be opened? I don't really know if they'll be coming and checking. There's 102 counties, obviously, and Iroquois County alone has 37. Cook County must have 1 million polling places. There's not enough people to come and check, but it is my job to do it, and we're gonna do it to the best of our ability. And some of them, it's probably a blessing to get them out of some of the old buildings. But once we're completely done, which our last one is scheduled for Friday, we'll do a big assessment and try to decide, do we make, all of them a little bit more compliant, or do we work on the worst of them? But some of them, literally, there's no place else to go. For example, Papanoff, there's some issues up there. Although they've said they've had people be able to get into the Papanoff polling place in a wheelchair. ADA compliance says that those people need to be able to get in there without the assistance of anyone else. That's what the law, is about. So, but the supervisor up there, his wife actually, she's the township clerk, I believe. We looked at other buildings and they're not any better. And that's all there is. There's only so many buildings in Papanoff, for example, and Woodland and Woodworth, or which Woodland has one. So we're gonna do the best we can. And then, we've also been spending considerable time, and by we, I mean Brian, has been working weeks on getting the boundaries, established for the proposed River Conservancy District, because, the district has to be set prior to the election so that the proper people are voting on it. For the places that are, 2 townships, I believe, that are complete, 4 that are complete townships, easy peasy, everybody will have it on their ballot. But for that 1 mile buffer on each side of the river, going north for a stretch, it's a little tricky figuring out who all belongs in that district. So we've used a combination of the GIS mapping, voter registration. She's worked with Eric Raymond from 911. I think that we're gonna be pretty good, but I am not comfortable that there's not gonna be someone that may be missed that belongs in that district that should have that ballot. But it's just hard to say. It's impossible. There's nothing we can do, to make sure with our GIS. We need a little bit more GIS functionality, and we're actually working on that. But there's always a glitch. There's always a glitch with something. You guys have probably, or some of you have seen the maps that Kankakee's GIS department has provided. They have a GIS department, we don't. We have GIS, and even at that, there's something else that we need, and I can't, not exactly sure what it is, but we wanted to add, my office, I want to add a couple of layers onto the GIS mapping, and that would be the precinct boundaries and possibly school boundaries, different ones that we want to add. But we've been working with, who is it? Who's got our GIS? Anybody? Can't think of the name of the
Bruce Harris.
company. Bruce Harris, yeah. So we've been working with Bruce Harris, but there's something else. We need some kind of, I don't even know what to call it, something else that's needed. And this company that has that something else that we need has been like, in an argument with Bruce Harris company about how we are gonna get it. So we're doing the best we can with what we've got, and it'll be good, but like I say, I cannot say with 100% certainty that, it'll be perfect as far as the boundaries. And elections wise, I guess that's probably about it. That's mostly been, what we've been working on. A little bit of problems with the conversion, over from Ballinger's to Joseph Meyer. They are now they have almost the entire state of Illinois now, and everybody has their tax sale about the same time of year. So where we've kind of needed them here because we've got a lot of questions. They're busy everywhere else. So it's not going quite as smoothly as I hoped it would, but I can't really, it was just our timing, you know, and I don't fault them or blame them. Hopefully Whitney's gonna be calling from Joseph Meyer today because we've got quite a few questions. Ballinger still seems to be doing court work to get things, and I was under the impression that all that stuff, as soon as Joseph Meyer, that day they started, that they would be working with Ballinger to get everything over in the name of Joseph Meyer as trustee, and it hasn't happened yet. I don't know if that's normal. You know, we don't know what's normal, we've never done it before. So kind of hoping that he calls today and maybe we could even have a call with, you know, multiple people in the room to try to figure out. They've been helpful, they've been really helpful, even before they were actually technically our trustee agent. They helped us with the problem, with the Ballinger issue, which, by the way, is we have all 4 of the deeds signed now for those people that wanted to deed the property back. And so all we have to do is get those recorded, get a check written to them, and then record a disclaimer kind of document. And then that will be done.
Good.
So that's it from me.
Can you repeat that?
Just
What'd you say? I didn't hear you.
He wants you to repeat it.
Oh. I can't.
No, I know you can.
So any questions? We'll move on to Kurt. What do you got, Kurt?
We had I had my first tax sale on October 28th. We sold 342 parcels for the amount of $384,703.92. And I think it went well.
It did go very well.
So, I had a lot of the buyers compliment me saying that we it went well for us, so. Like I said, we're probably one of the few, I had one gentleman comment that we're one of the few counties that still do, I guess, a live auction. A lot of them do it electronically, where they set up computers in the room and everybody, whoever's got the fastest finger gets the bid, so. He said for this size of county, he says you guys are using your money effectively by just having it live, because it would cost us, I think if we did a computer one, it would cost us over $2,000 to do that, so. He said for the amount of parcels and the size of deals, you're better off to do it live. So, but other than that, we're, like I said, then we've got our last distribution coming up, which should be sometime by November 16th. We'll have that'll be the last distribution for the tax money.
Okay. Okay. Excuse me. Questions for Kurt? If not, let's move on to the planning and zoning office report. Pass this around. And this. You have one? Okay. Amanda would like one.
Amanda's got next.
Yes.
Is there a second page?
Thanks.
Looks like building permits are up this year over last year.
And residential's looking good.
Yeah, it's good.
So what are tool sheds? Somebody knows, is that part of agriculture?
That'd be agriculture,
Right.
I would think.
Right? Tool sheds and stuff,
I have no idea about that.
you wouldn't know, never mind.
If they're a farmer, it would.
My bad. What?
If they're a farmer, it would.
Right. But if we're not a farmer,
Here you go, it's
That's
not really good.
residential.
Any questions, which we probably cannot give an answer for anyway.
So will solar be on here eventually, or if we approve all the
Pardon?
solar stuff that's happening, solar?
It should be on here eventually.
If it's not included in there yet, because we haven't proceeded with that, is that correct? With the solar?
Which part of
Permits.
solar are
The
you talking?
permits,
Building permit.
No, we haven't,
we haven't done anything yet.
no, I don't believe anybody's applied for one yet.
Okay.
You know, they had, you're talking about the ones that went through the state lottery,
Yes.
and I'm not sure what the status is on it, but as far as I know, nobody's applied for one. I think there was only one given to the county,
Well,
one south.
yeah, okay,
So I don't know why they haven't gone ahead with
just
it.
curious. I haven't seen it show up yet.
Yeah, no.
Is the cell tower thing that was supposed to happen this month, did I hear someone say it's postponed till next month?
Yeah, Bob said to postpone it until next month.
Oh.
Okay, any questions on the planning and zoning committee report?
Kevin, tool sheds can be under residential and agriculture.
Mr. Sure already answered.
Okay.
Clear as mud.
They may be residential, but they will be
Yeah.
applied for as agriculture. Well, if no questions on planning and zoning, let's move on to discussion on the levy. What do we have to discuss? Got anything about, hey,
Joe's the one that got the.
Jill, you got anything on the levy?
I do not.
Okay,
I don't have.
Is anybody
anything.
working on the levy?
Somebody better have.
I
somebody
took my
better
Chevy, I
have-
took my Chevy to the lobby.
Oh, boy, yeah,
That was
too
bad.
I did eat my Wheaties.
Yeah, that's bad.
those good old boys that drink whiskey.
I don't know about the whiskey and rye.
The levy must be approved next month.
Yeah, so, we need to get to work on the levy, I guess, don't we? So, in December, it has to be approved
Absolutely,
and voted on at the county board meeting.
absolutely. The budget will be finally voted on this month.
So Jill, will you have something for us next month? Okay. Well, I do appreciate that, okay? Okay.
I guess I could add that what I know of the levy at the moment is I don't think there's anything of any great consequence. I think it's all pretty much in line with what amounts were levied last year. Most of the people are asking for the maximum millage rate, so I don't think there's any arguments there. I know the health department,
Health department's not.
health department is staying the same as they were last year also, so
We're at 53% of our max tax.
it shouldn't be anything controversial.
Yeah, I would not think so. Okay. Let's move on to old business. What do we have for old business? Nothing on the brewery.
Mr. Devine and I are working on that. We hope to have that for you next month. We wanted to get the animal control thing done first because there's a deadline on that, so that's why I concentrated on that.
As far as the health department goes with the brewery, we did a lot of checking. This is our first brewery too, so about the discharge for their septic. Ryan's been working with them very closely, working with the state. They've had great, the owners have had great communication with the health department, really have spent a lot of time looking at all the options. I think right now they're going to go with a surface discharge where they're probably gonna have to have pumper tanks, put it into a holding tank and have the pumper tanks.
A what?
A pumper tank, have the discharge go into a holding tank and then have a pumper tank come and you know, like every 3 weeks or something, it'll have to be emptied. The other option is that there is a ground surface discharge system that they can purchase. It's very expensive, but they're looking into that too. But all that's being looked at very carefully. They want to make sure that, you know, because you can't put, you know, yeast and sugar into a regular septic tank because it's going to grow, right?
We're talking about the septic system.
Right. So, but we'll get all that worked out with them, and they're very cooperative. Very cooperative.
Okay, good. Any more comments?
There should be a mandatory complimentary service to county board members and related employees.
Yeah. Taste test, a tour.
Just a tour. Complimentary.
I like
Just
that.
to make sure that the
Tour.
public is safe.
Yeah, definitely.
As
I think
long
it would be
as,
great.
I think we all agree with that as long as it does not include the state's attorney.
Hey, Jim, we're being broadcast on the internet here.
The world should know our intent.
Yeah.
Tell it like it is.
Okay, let's move on then to new business. Do we have any new business? Well, I think the next on the agenda is to adjourn the meeting.
So made.
Second? Okay, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Get Hoffbauer out of here.